gentlemen, our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
There we go. Okay. Yep. You hear me good? All right. Great job. All right. We're getting ready for qualifying here tonight with the James Wagoner Welding Super Speedway Series. Let's go ahead and get trackside here tonight as we've got qualifying taking place. Out on track right now, we can see we got the number 48 there, Jake Persilia. Working here, Chris Ramsey now as he comes working here off of corner number 4 at Daytona. Black number 13. Heading there through the restart zone down here through the front straightaway and across the stripe. Now the one thing I got to keep in mind here tonight is we ran Daytona earlier in the season. We also ran Talladega. And when we're running the two tracks, they're very, very similar in layout. In fact, the layout's pretty much the same almost, except Talladega might be a little bit wider. And the thing that goofs me up is the restart and starting zones. As here at Talladega, here at Daytona, they are at the beginning and in the middle of the tri-oval, where at Talladega they're towards the end and exiting the tri-oval. You're almost down in between turn one, or halfway between the tri-oval and turn one before you hit the start-finish line there at Talladega. Here at Daytona, though, we got Nathan Peacock laying down a 51.035. Eric Copperthorne, though, he's going to lay down a 51.030. Real good time so far up here at the top of the leaderboard as the times keep rolling in. As we're looking here at Chris Ramsey as he's rolling around the backstretch here, down off up here. Into corner number 3. Down on the bottom side of the racetrack, trying to keep as much momentum up as he possibly can. Working here off of 4, back around onto that tri-oval. What's he going to get for this lap time? That's what we're going to have to see. As Ramsey puts it to the top of the leaderboard with a 50.984. But Jimmy Powland out there with a 50.933. Now the time start clicking in a little faster. And now you got Jake Persilia up with a 50.903. Oh boy, here comes Matt Barker. Ace himself coming out there with a 50.902. I was talking here before the race was getting started to some of the guys, and I was understanding Barker might have a wheel issue that he's trying to get situated to figure out. So hopefully it stays connected and works all through the race. But we'll have to see how well that plays out here. We're looking at 38, Jeff Scott. And Jeff Scott's out there getting his laps underway. Brian Hennings, though, he's out front with a 50.877 for that pole spot. James Wagoner taking his first lap with a 54.071. Now Jeff Scott with a 52.134 for his first lap. Wagner trying to see what he ends up with, and Wagner going to put a 50.898 on the board to move him up in the second position. And now you got that 38 there, Jeff Scott working down the backstretch, seeing what he can pull in here for his lap time as he works down here in the corner number 3. Heading over here in the 4 before exiting onto that front triover front stretch. 10 seconds left. Can he make it before the time runs out to the second lap underway? 5, 4, 3. Oh boy. I don't think he'll make it as it goes and makes 0. I don't know if that's going to count. Well, that gave him a 50.925. Starting grid here this evening. Going to be Brian Hennings starting on pole out there in row number 1 with James Wagoner starting on his outside there in second. In third tonight, inside row number 2, that's going to be Matt Barker. And that number 96 machine starting in third to his outside. In fourth is going to be Jake Persilia. In fifth, inside row number 3 is going to be Jeff Scott. And that number 38 with Jimmy Pilon out there in sixth position to his outside in that number 29. Inside row number 4, that's going to be Tim Richardson starting 7th with Edward Fiedler in the 66 truck starting in 8th to his outside. Liam Beebe rolls off tonight in 9th inside row number 5 with Larry Fairman to his outside in 10th. Row number 6, it's going to be Chris Ramsey starting on the inside in 11th with Jonathan Vanderberg starting tonight in 12th. 13th position, that's going to be starting here tonight. Justin Hollings, that number 7 machine, inside row number 7 with Eric Copperthorne to his outside in 14th. Nathan Peacock rolls off tonight inside row number 8 in 15th position with Ryan Hunter in 16th. And to round out your field tonight is Sam Usier, or trying to nail down that last name there, Sam. I'm sure completely how to pronounce it. So thank you for, I understand, Sam, this is your first night to run with us, so good luck, and hopefully you enjoy the racing here tonight. And we're getting ready to get them to roll off of pit road. Engines are started. There you see that 96 down there. That is the 96. Barker, I believe that is. Sitting there third. As you see them all lined up, ready to take the green. Or ready to follow the pace car out, rather. Getting them in gear, heading off pit road. Brian Hennings, your lead machine out there in first. Got James Wagoner there in second. Head on down here, down that front straightaway. Heading down the backstretch here. Lights are out on that pace truck as we get ready for the truck series here tonight. Great looking trucks out there on track as they roll down the back straightaway. Edward Fiedler up there in the 66 machine. Liam Beebe there on the inside in that number 9, position number 9 in the 83. Who's ready for some high-flying action here from Daytona as they roll around here off of 3 and into 4. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Figure Farm TV tonight to watch some on-the-pole racing action. Base truck getting ready to pull off there. There it goes. Now we're heading towards that restart zone here tonight. Green flag is out. They're going to hit that mouth pedal. They're down and away. And head down here into corner number 1, or head towards corner number 1 here. Let me know if that audio sounds okay. If I need to adjust something, I will. Just try. I noticed the other night when I was recording and I was looking at a couple things, my audio seemed to be a little low, so I'm trying to get it adjusted back out here to where we have it okay. Now we work on down through the back stretch here, down here towards corner number 3 and 4. Heading down here, everybody side by side. Brian Henning down there on the inside. James Wagner up there on the outside. Now we're looking possibly going 3 wide. They want to put Wagner 3 wide, but they're not going to do it. Here's that 48 there, Jake Persilia out there behind. Wagner's going to just hang it back in line. Hang on there, guys. Don't get too loose yet. As you come there off of 4, down here across the restart zone and across the strike. James Wagner leading that top lane. Here comes Hennings leading that bottom lane. Out there in front, leading the lap. He's got Matt there in as the second truck back on the inside lane. Nobody's really made some moves yet except for back towards the back. Now you got Sam moving his way up through the track here in that middle lane right now. Getting some heat put on as he now gets up there in line. He's now up to 14th position. Edward Fiedler, he's dropped back to 15th. And it looks like Mark Morton didn't take the grid here as he wasn't even on the grid, if I remember correctly. As we work down here through off of 4, back down here across the stripe. Everybody's trying to get in line somewhere. A lot of weaving out of that 48 machine of Jake Cecilia as they work down here off the front straightaway down here into corner number 1. Now they're working here off of 2, down here around off of corner number 3. Corner number 2. That outside lane not getting anywhere, and it looked like we might have had a truck going sideways, but I'm not sure of that. It looked like one did get really loose and ended up diving to the inside there. Unsure who that was, if it was just an optical illusion. Now you got Wagner trying to keep a hold of things up there on that top side. That bottom lane prevailing at the moment as Jeff Scott now up there in the 3rd. Tim Richardson back there in 4th, fighting alongside James Wagner. They work down here off of the corner, down here into corner number 1 they go. Still side by side, you got that 2 there of Tim Richardson working there on the bottom side, trying to move that bottom line along with that 83 there of Liam Beebe. Working down there off 2, down that back straightaway. Everybody's still fighting for position there as Wagner now getting that outside lane, looking like it's starting to get a little bit of a organization coming together as now Wagner's getting up there to battle along for 3rd again as it comes storming here off the corner. All right, I guess I should have had this up as we're on lap number 40 of the 50 here tonight. How about here for lap number 5? We'll go ahead and take it for a little bit of heat it up. go, down across the front straightaway. Brian Henning still leading it, but James Wagoner out there trying to get up there in battle as we're on board there above James Wagoner on that root cam. Down here across that front straightaway, heading down here, down that back straightaway now. As they work there off of two, side by side. Couple great looking purple trucks up there towards the front. It was the 30 of Doogie or Ace there. Down there on the bottom side, a couple great looking trucks. Really, I'm always astonished at the great wraps that you see these drivers put on the vehicles. I know some of them rather would drive than try to mess with the paintwork themselves, so they go out and kind of contract that to somebody. They work down here off of turn number 3 and 4, back around onto the front straightaway. I'm sorry, they're down the back straightaway at the moment. Oh, geez, get flipped around here. We're on lap number 8 of the 50 to complete here tonight. As they work down that back straightaway here with Wagner out there in third now, still trying to battle along Jeff Scott with Tim Richardson there on the inside as well. That inside lane starting to prevail once again as that off lane kind of got disorganized. And that 48 of Jake is still kind of all over the back bumper of Wagner. And I'm sure that makes Wagner a little nervous as when looking in that rear view mirror in the truck. That's the last thing you want to see. Don't put that truck behind you bobbing and weaving too much, because then it makes you nervous. Are they going to end up giving you a bad push, a bad bump? And then that's going to send you around. Down here, down that back straightaway once again, still side by side with Brian Hennings as your leader. And everybody's in a pack here, coming down here in the corner number 3. And they work here through 4. Wagner now battling back on top again. That outside lane starting to come back together a little bit. Now that inside lane, it's going to battle hard once again. As you see everybody trying to get in line, trying to hold it steady. But the other thing we got to keep in mind is you don't want to be butt up against the truck in front of you the whole time. Those water temps could start to rise, and then you could be in more trouble, and you could be on the risk of blowing the engine up. And that would make a good night of racing. Now we're working down that back straightaway again. Everybody's still side by side. Now we're working down through here, checking on down through the grid here. You got Brian Hennings out front. Parker there in second, down there on the inside underneath James Wagner, who's battling for third spot. You got Jeff Scott back there in fourth with Tim Richardson there fifth. Jake back here way up the racetrack in sixth. Liam Beebe down on the inside in seventh. As Highland works his way across, trying to get that spot up there on the outside lane. You got one blinking in and out. I think that's Nick Peacock in that 72. That took a little bit of dip in the what you call it? Brian Hunter back here in 11th. Justin Hollings there 12th. Jonathan Vandenberg sitting in 12th or 13th. And Justin Hollings is back here in 14th or 13th. See him back here in 14th. And Peacock doing a pretty good job coming up through the field. He's up 7 positions. Ryan Hunter's up 5. Sam up 3. Still a little early yet to be trying to make too many crazy moves. And I was looking at some of the things before the race tonight, and I noticed that we have 2 green-white checkers here if needed. So fingers crossed we don't need them, but they are there if needed. I don't want to call it out and say that we're going to use them, though. That could be problematic. If we're coming up on a lap car, that may very well be Eric Copperthorne. Oh. No, that's Mark Morton coming into the race. Morton, many laps down at the moment. Probably somewhere around 11 to 12 laps down. As the drivers come off of turn number 4, they're coming down here on them. He's 9 laps down. Okay, 9 laps down for Morton. Could be coming here to be 10 laps down into the pack and gaining on them. Morton up there in that 88 Real Tree truck, gets up out of the way as the pack comes storming on by. Down there on the low side, heading here into corner number 3. Everybody making it by so safely so far. Always sketchy whenever you have a slower truck like that and you got the pack storming down on you. So now all 18 trucks are up here in the pack, someplace, somewhere along the grid. We're on lap number 14, heading down here into corner number 1. Wagner still hanging on to that outside lane, doing what he can to hang on to what he has. Morton now gets caught up in a crash with the 26 of Jonathan Vanderberg. Vanderberg is broke. We'll take a look at it here. Unsure what the exact thing is here. We'll see if we can get a hold of it here. Tight race in there between them as the lap car is up there on the high side. And it looks like somebody just didn't want to give room and get down there into that bottom lane and got up there into Morton, or Morton come down. They were just fighting over the same piece of track. Glad I'm not a race controller. I'll say that much. I am so glad I'm not a race controller to figure out what goes on, but, you know, who could be at fault, what type of stuff needs handed down. Oh, man. Tough break there for Vanderberg. As pit road becomes a busy place. We'll be back after this short break.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
Lights are on the pace truck. Going to get them lined up, it looks like here, to get them going back. Green flag racing. as lights go out on the pace machine. Alrighty, lights are out. Getting ready for that green flag to drop. Coming down here towards that front straightaway. Pace car is off. On board here for the restart as we're on here with Dookie. And he's down here on the inside now as they come down across the stripe. Loud pedal hit as they make some noise coming down here into corner number 1. Side by side, it's still Brian Hennings out there in front as they come down there through off of the straightaway into corner number 1. Lap number 18 up 15 feet on the board right now. Jonathan Vandenberg back here in 17th as Morton is out. And he rolled down here through off of the backstretch. Wagner sitting there, third car back on the inside row. That puts him about about 5th to 6th, depending on where that outside line sits at the moment. Now that outside line's trying to get something organized as Wagner stays put down there on the bottom. Tim Richardson up there on the outside lane in that number 2. Inside lane. He's pushing Wagner, trying to figure out who's on the top side. He got Ace leading that outside lane. He's got the 48 of Jake there behind him. And behind Jake, I want to say that's a 72 of Nathan Peacock. And I don't see anybody else up there on the top lane. Now Doty jumps out, and he'll jump up in front of Ace. Now they come storming down the backstretch as they get side by side there for the lead. Coming down there in the corner number 3 and 4. Ace sitting there in second. Got Jeff Scott down there on the inside, pushing along the 74 of Brian Hennings. As they come here out of 4, back down that straightaway, heading towards the tri-oval. Everybody looking great, looking side by side as they come down here through off of the tri-oval now, heading down here in the corner number 1. James Wagner out front, trying to get that little bit more of a push to get out there in front of Hennings. Hennings led almost every lap. May not have led this last one, but I'm unsure about that. As we head back down here through off of the corner, down the back straightaway. That inside lane prevailing right now. As Jeff Scott gets to the inside, not quite, but definitely looked like it down there on that inside row. Almost putting that Brian Hennings 3 wide, coming there into corner number 3. Does not do it though as they come here off of 3 and into turn 4. Now off of 4 through that short chute, heading down here towards the tri-oval. Still got a great pack of trucks running along here with 21 laps on the board. Down here off the corner, heading there towards the backstretch. You got James Wagner out there in front now as he finally did get that pass made on Brian Hennings and dropped down there to the inside. Now Hennings all over the back bumper of Wagner as you see Scott there along the bumper of Hennings. So those 3 trucks better just, they're being careful there. You don't want to You got to be careful where you're pushing and when not to push, especially if you're in a position like Jeff Scott. You want to stay uptight, but you don't want to get too uptight where you're going to end up getting that truck in front of you arrow tight and arrow loose. They're in the middle of, the pack. There's a lot of driving awareness that has to go on when you're racing in a pack of 3 trucks like this who are finally pulling away from the pack as Brian Henning is all over the back bumper of James Wagoner right now. As you see the pack trying to form up, but has kind of broken apart here. Now as Brian Hunter gets up there in the 4th, where you've got Jim Kylan up there on the outside. Now we're down here in corner number 3. 22 laps on the board, soon to be complete here as they work here off of 4, back onto that short chute, heading towards turn number, the tri-oval. Down here through off the corner. You got Matthew Barker up there in 8th, Larry Fairman here in 9th, Dustin Hollings just got passed by Jake for that 10th position. Hollings going to battle back out there on the bottom. Side by side here off of corner number 2. Heading back down that backstretch, but look at this. The pack has caught back up to those 3 that kind of broke away for a little bit. The pack is back, and they're fighting back on the outside. Here comes that being led by none other than Rowdy up there on the outside lane. He's got that 2 of Tim Richardson there in the spot behind him as they work here off the corner. Now Wagner going to jump up, and oh no! Barker is around and up in the air. I don't think he went all the way. Well, it doesn't look like much damage there on that truck, which is a beat. We'll take a look at it here as we're underneath another yellow flag here at lap number 24. Take a look at the caution here, see what it brings. There you see, just all of a sudden, I think matches got loose. I'm thinking that's kind of what happened, is Matt got loose here coming out of the corner. That's not the greatest of shot either. Oh, I guess because I'm... Now they're coming here out of the corner. You'll see he gets a little bit of a bump there and then gets spun around. No, he doesn't quite get picked up in the air. As you see the 13 going through the grass there, cutting it. He thought the grass needed a little trim there across the front straightaway. The grass could have stayed in the grass, you didn't have to bring it all over the racetrack. Coming down the back stretch here. Another caution. Everybody involved should be able to get them trucks back going the right direction. Everybody come down here in the pits. I'm honestly not sure how detrimental tires are. Being 26 laps to go. Wagner getting off of pit road first. Then Rowdy. And we got Hennings there in 3rd with Richardson back here in 4th. Jeff Scott rolling there off in 5th. Nathan Peacock in 6th as the rest of them come off of pit road here. Got 99 of Fairman back here in 8th. Copperthorne. Everybody's racing off of pit road right at the moment. And you got Ace up there. Uh-oh. Missed his pit box. Alrighty, here we go. They work here. Single file at the moment. 26 laps to go. Now work down the front stretch. Everybody's all single file at the moment. Waiting to see where their assigned spot is, whether it be the outside or the inside. Now it looks like Wagner's going to choose the outside for the restart. Lights go off, now everybody else files in behind them. I'm almost a little bit surprised, but not surprised kind of with this restart formation. The choice of Wagner going to the outside there in front of Richardson instead of going down on the inside there with Hennings. Who's going to give him the better push? That's going to be the question. You got Fords on the outside lane, Chevrolet down there on the inside lane. A lot of Fords throughout the field here tonight. 2 Toyotas, those are being driven by Sam Lucier and Edward Fiedler. I worked out here through in the corner number 3 and 4. Getting ready for the restart. Everybody side by side and bunched up here, waiting for that flag to drop. Here with 25 laps to go, be 24 laps to go when they come across the stripe. Two cautions on the night so far. Gray flag in the air, that outside lane. Not together as much as that inside lane. That could be trouble there for Wagner as Wagner's trying to stay up there on that outside lane. Here comes Hennings now. Jeff Scott jumping up there to the outside lane. Or I'm sorry, Hollings up there. Now Hennings jumps up in front of Wagner. They're going to leave at 29 down there on the inside. Now Hennings jumps back down. Here comes Wagner up there on the outside as they come swarming down that backstretch. Everybody side by side, 24 laps to go here as Wagner gets put back out there towards the front. And he's got there Richardson right behind him. Jeff Scott behind Richardson. And we're on board here in that Ally machine. Up route as they work down here on the bottom side. He's got Doug there now in front of him. Now head on down through, off the corner. And in the corner number 1. That outside lane starting to come together again as they got Tim Richardson and Jeff Scott up there battling to try to get that outside lane to move up. And coming up there behind Scott, that's the 98 there of Eric Coppendorn. Now here comes that number 29 jumping to the outside. Coming down that backstretch, he jumps up there in front of Richardson. He saw what Richardson could do to help Wagner to the front. But Hennings, great job down there on the inside right behind Wagner. Keep Wagner out front. As they're coming down here out of turn number 4. Wagner jumps to the outside up there in front of the 29 to try to head off that run. As they work here through the tri-oval, that outside lane getting a great run. Now as Rowdy gets clear of that bottom lane, here comes Richardson down there to the bottom side. Wagner saw it, now he's dropping himself down there to the bottom side as well. Try to battle it out down here, down the back stretch here. Everybody's seesawing back and forth between the lanes. Try to figure out which lane is going to help them prevail. But the trick is you don't want to make that bounce without knowing if you can. And right now, that inside lane prevailing enough to keep Wagner and Richardson out there in front. Heading battling for third down there on the inside right now underneath 29 there of Rowdy. Jeff Scott up there trying to push Rowdy up. Here comes now that 2 of Richardson. He's going to see if he can make a run there at Wagner. But Hennings getting back up there to the bumper. He's going to try to hold him off as they come down there through the short chute down here into corner number 1. Cannot quite do it. As Wagner now drops back there in the second spot. Scott there in fourth trying to bring Rowdy up there. As that inside lane now is trying to work together to push that inside lane up along. Everybody's still 2 by 2, and just look at the way they weave coming down that backstretch. And in the corner number 3, side by side still, they work here through 3 and 4. You got Wagner on the inside, you got Pilot out there on the outside. And now Hennings gets down beside Rowdy as they come down here off corner number 4, down here through the trioval across the stripe, and it's going to be Hennings at the line for third, but Rowdy getting a great run there off of the trioval, heading down here into corner number 1. He's got some trucks there behind him to push him along. In the lights, Jeff Scott. Eric Copperthorne there in the 98, and behind Copperthorne that looks to be the 96 of Ace. Ace having a little bit of a scare earlier in the race whenever he got flipped up on his side. Now they're coming down here through the backstretch. Side by side, everybody working together as much as they can. I would see the 83 back there. That's the 83 there of Liam Beebe working on everything back there as Rowdy now has a truck jump up in front of him. That's the 30 of Doogie as they work down here through off of the corner, and it's going to be possibly Doogie with the lead coming there through the trioval. Now as Rowdy and Scott up there on the high side trying to get ahead of Richardson. Down there on the inside. Here comes Wagner. He's battling as hard as he can up there on the front. Off of turn number 2. Down that back straightaway. It's anybody's race right now. Anything and everything can still happen as we battle down the backstretch here as Richardson getting a heck of a run there from with Hennings. Down there on the inside. They're bringing him the 72 of Nathan Peacock. You got the 27 down there as well. Ryan Hunter down there on the inside. That outside lane losing a little bit of ground. Coming off of 4. Can they regain some of it as they bob and weave coming down there off of corner number 4 down here into the trioval. And it's going to be Richardson with the lap lead with Hennings there second. Wagner sitting there in third as they storm down here into corner number 1 once again. Wagner trying to get up there and battle as hard as he can down here through off of 2 back out onto that backstretch. The high lines of Daytona always fun and interesting to watch. As they come down that backstretch, everybody's still bunched up in a tight pack. And got Jonathan Vanderberg out, I believe. I know Morton's out, but Vanderberg also out. Chris Ramsey being the last truck on the lead lap. That's pretty good, too, having him back there in 16th position. All these trucks are still on the same lap. So it truly is anybody's race, minus the 2 that are out, Vanderberg and Morton. 17 laps to go as they come down here into corner number 1 once again. Down here off into corner number 2. Heading there off onto the backstretch. Be careful of that blend line down there on the bottom side of the racetrack. Watch it, Rowdy. You're getting a little tight coming there off of 2. You've got 2 Fords out front there of Richardson and Wagner. Then there behind them. And 2 Chevrolets of Hennings and Rowdy. And then you go back in Ford and Chevy's working there. Right now, if you look at the scoreboard, it's Ford, Chevy. Now we're getting back. Man, who's it going to be? Ford or Chevy here tonight? Down here through the front straightaway, back heading down into corner number 1. Hennings out there on the bottom side. And oh no! We got Hennings going up and around. Lots of drivers collected. Big one here at Daytona. We'll see if we can pick apart what happened here. Coming down that front straightaway. You see everybody. Looks like Scott thought about going to the inside and was just too tight and clips Rowdy. Rowdy then goes down there into the Hennings. Hennings getting picked up on his side quite a bit there. He turns around facing the wrong direction. Ends up squeeze playing a few trucks as they come down through there. 13 involved. Getting both contact. A 48 there, getting a little bit of contact down there on the inside. That is the 48 there of Jake. Wow, man. And all because somebody tried to squeeze it in there and just not enough room to get that 3 wide to take place. As Jeff Scott just did not quite have the room that he thought he did. And we're now back under caution, 15 laps to go. I see damage there on the 72 of David Peacock. See the damage there on the front of that machine. Not going to really do much for him out front, as it can really hinder that truck being out front like that. And you can possibly hold the draft behind somebody. But as for him being the lead truck, that thing's not just going to do anything, be anything but aerodynamic out there on the front. Working out that front straightaway, the light's still on that pace machine. Peacock down in the pits. That's going to hand the control car over to Wagner. And he's back out on the top side there. Behind him is Ace. And down there on the inside, that's Tim Richardson and the 98 of Eric Copperthorne, who is up 10 spots from where he started. Sam also up 10 spots from where he started. First night here with the Roughneck Racing crew. And as always, if you're interested in joining Roughneck, I'm sure that there are ways you can do so. You can reach out to us here at Fleeger Farm TV, and we can help you get in contact with them. Roughneck Racing, become a lead. Lights are out, coming down here through the backstretch into corner number 3. Getting set and ready for the restart. They head here off of the corner. Pace truck's getting ready to make that dip to pit road here halfway down that short chute. There you go, it dips off. We're going to go green flag racing. Wagoner way out there. Hopefully he can get mad up there to the back bumper before he gets the flag. And they're green flag racing once again, getting on that loud pedal, that outside lane, getting a better jump this time. And now Richardson's going to try to play catch up down there on the inside. Matt and James and Ace get out there, but Ace gets caught up there on the high side as Richardson had a decent run there coming off. Now here comes that Ford of Ace on the high side, being pushed along by Fairman as they come down there through the backstretch. Richardson down there on the inside, pushing Wagoner along in behind Richardson. That's the 98 of Eric Copperthorne. They work down here through off of corner number 3 into 4. That high side just out a little bit. Here comes Richardson and Wagoner down there on the inside as they work here off of 4. Richardson trying to dip out and get some air on the front of that truck to try to cool it off some as they work down here through the start-finish line. Easy does it. You don't want to go and spin the guy out in front of you as they work down here through the straightaway down into corner number 1. Wagoner following back now. Ace is getting a pretty decent run up there on the outside. Wagoner now dropping there in the bottom, coming up once again with Richardson there pushing him along down the backstretch. Everybody's still a tight group as we head down here into corner number 3. You see the 98 there of Eric Copperthorne. He's going to try to get underneath and help that inside line where he can. Maybe try to find a spot where he hasn't found one yet. As Ace is out front. Wagoner, where'd he go? Wagoner ended up dropping way back. Take a look here at what happened to Wagoner real fast. And he was out front, and then all of a sudden he gets dipped. Richardson ended up off track. Wagoner loose. Up in the air, ends up spun around. No caution flag for Wagoner. And now there's a lone wolf back here, clear at the back of the pack. As these guys are battling it out, 10 laps to go. Ace down there on the inside. You got Jake up there in second. Brian Hennings back out front as they're all on board here with Jake as they come down here into corner number 1. There goes Hennings back around down there on the bottom side. The 05 almost trying to create his own hole there underneath of Scott. That's the 05 of Sam. That's the new driver here with Roughneck coming down that backstretch. He is up there in about 7th position right now as they battle back here in corner number 3 and 4, coming back around here towards the front stretch. Out front is Hennings. And you got Jake there in second, Barker there in third, Jeff Scott up here in fourth. As they head on down here through off of turn number 4, back down here through the front straightaway. It's going to be 8 laps to go. And they round corner number 1 here. Down here through 2 and back out onto the backstretch. Larry Fairman back there in 5th with Jimmy Simon back there in 6th. Down that backstretch, everybody side by side, all except for that lone wolf, James Wagoner, who is just now coming here through off of turn. Coming here off of the corner. Down here off of the back, onto the back straightaway. Everybody else coming here off of turn 4, back around here on the front straightaway through that restart zone. As you see them all coming through. Larry Fairman back there in about 6th position, trying to figure out where he can go to get up there towards the front more. As he is 3rd car back on that inside, right behind Ace. As you see Scott up there on the outside of Ace in that 38 machine. Jake up there on top of Hennings as they work down the backstretch. Almost going 3 wide, not quite there. Well, 13's thinking about it. Chris Ramsey looking there, and he is. They are 3 wide. Ramsey way up there against that outside wall, and now pushed into it there by the 72. And you got another one there into the outside wall. That's the 7 of Hollings. Hollings having issues there. He's up against that outside wall. Looks like he might be broke. He'll try to sneak it on the pit road. As you're on board here with the Canadian Tire Machine of Barry Fairman, he's pushing along Matt Barker on that bottom side. Not sure if there's anybody to the outside. There is Hennings to his outside. As you see there, just how close this gap is. Working down the back straightaway. You got Hennings up there on the outside. You got the 96 there of Ace down there on the inside being pushed along by Fairman. Jake Persilia pushing along Hennings with Scott there behind Jake. Down through the restart zone. Hennings leading this lap. Second place is going to go to Jake this lap as Hennings drops down there. And somebody was down on the inside lane. There's Hollings spinning around there once again. He's down on the apron of the racetrack. Unsure exactly what happened there. They go around off of 2. Everybody side by side. 5 laps to go. We're looking there at 27 of Ryan Hunter as he's trying to get up there. Trying to see who's back there towards the back. Now you got them all storming down here in the corner number 1. That is 72 of Peacock back there. Trying to hang on. We're on board with Ace. Going down that back straightaway. Who's out there in front of them? We've got to figure out where they're going to go. As they storm on down through here. Side by side, 4 laps to go. Soon to be 3 to go when they come across the stripe. Leading the way is Brian Hennings. As they work here off at 4, back through the short chute into that trioval. And that is Wagner out there in front as he's up against that outside wall. Going a lap down now. Sure, he's not too thrilled about that. And he'll come around and back in line as you got them all sideways once again. Somebody way down there on the inside lane. I want to say that's the 27. It is. And you've got now the 72 there going through the grass. That's Nathan Peacock. And trying to see who else is involved down there on the bottom side of the racetrack. Larry Fairman. Caution is out. That very well may help you get back on the lead lap. I see them there all entangled coming down there across the backstretch. You see Fairman and Peacock hooked together. Back there behind them, you saw that 27 of Ryan Hunter. And you'll see here comes the hard hit down there to the inside wall in that 99 of Fairman. And he comes beating off of that inside wall. And it looks like the 72 of Peacock is going to do what he can to keep his off of that inside wall. And boy, how close can you get without hitting that inside wall? They go and work back onto the track. Ace currently sitting in 4th, so he'll be restarting on the outside lane. And he takes us for pit road. We got one, Sam. Larry Fairman on his way out of pit road. Three laps to go. Green, white, checker. There comes Doogie getting his lap back. That'll put him back on the lead lap. Tail end of the draft trucks. Now we see Ollings back there. Like we said, he had some issues. As Wagner's now in pit road, going to try to get some things fixed or redone on that truck. And you got to make it quick as they're on the final lap here. Or is the lights on or off? Lights are still on. Okay. He's going to make sure that he beats the pace truck out of pit road. Vandenberg out, Hollings down a lap. Back here towards the back with that number 7 machine. Wagner's got it all fixed up. Going to pull it off pit road as everybody else is pulling here off the backstretch. Or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, they were going off the backstretch back out onto the front stretch. So he did get out ahead of the truck. Now everybody's going to get side by side. Get ready for the restart. Wagner, tail end here. Coming off pit road, he's going to make sure that he steeps it up under that speed limit. Make sure he doesn't get busted for speeding. And that would not be a good thing. They work here down off the corner. Ace on the high side, in behind Jeff Scott. Working down here off the back stretch. Heading into corner number 3. Lights are out on that pace machine. You got Hennings out front. Jeff Scott in second. Rowdy there in third. Ace in fourth. Liam Beebe back here in fifth. Eric Copperthorne there in sixth. Sam back here in seventh. Chris Ramsey there eighth. Edward Fielder there in ninth. Nathan Peacock in 10th. Ryan Hunter there in 11th. Tim Richardson in 12th with Larry Fairman there 13th. Jake Priscilla back here in 14th. James Doogie down here on the inside on the apron trying to catch back up to the track. He comes storming there off of pit road. Now everybody else is coming here off of turn number 4. Can Wagner catch up before they go green? He's going to have to try to keep it going, I'm sure. Now they're coming there off of turn number 4. Wagner slowly coming up. Oh boy, it's going to be close for Wagner. Can he get up there before they take the green flag? They are getting ready to. He's pretty much at full song, clear back here at the back. Now he had to slow up a little bit as he did get back up here. Green flag racing back out here. Brian Hennings out front with 2 laps to go. Side by side down here into corner number 1. Ace up there on the high side trying to push Jeff Scott along there towards the front. As you got that 98 there of Eric Copperthorne up there on the high side as well. The 83 of Liam Beebe down there on the inside. You got the 29 there of Rowdy also trying to get up there and battle for the front lead. And they storm down the backstretch here. Everybody, real tight. Coming here through turn 3 and 4. Keep it together. One more lap here if they keep it green through 3 and 4 and the beginning of the tryover. Everybody rolls off. Side by side. Rowdy getting up there a little close to Ace. As now they come there off of the start-finish line. Now it's going to make it or break it here as they roll here into corner number 1. Who's it going to be coming here to the line? Up here towards the front, it's still Brian Henning. Jeff Scott up there battling it out on that front row. You got their Ace there in that second spot back on the high side as he's going to try to push as hard as he can up there on that high side to get that truck moving towards the front. Trying to get a podium position there. Real tight here off of turn 2. Wagner has crashed Hollings off track. Problems there towards the end of this one as it's real tight coming off the corner here. Who's it going to be as they come down here? It's going to be, oh no! Jeff Scott is around. That's going to end the lead over to Ace. Ace is going to bring home the win as they come here off the corner. What a finish. Not quite the way I'm sure Ace wanted to bring it home. I'm just sure he's probably glad that he didn't get caught up in this mess. His heading is destroyed. You got Jeff Scott destroyed back there as well. As the 48 and 83 collide coming there across the line. Let's take another look at it coming to the line here. And they're coming here off of turn number 4. Everybody doing what they can, coming here off of 4. You'll watch at 29, just kind of get up there, pushing as hard as he can. I'm not sure what happened. Looks like it just ended up a little sideways there and got into the quarter. Well, he dipped down low, and Hennings saw that. Or no, I'm sorry, Hennings ended up getting up into the outside lane too much into Jeff Scott. Brought it down across. Jeff Scott being the first one to almost go completely over here tonight. As looks like Hennings goes even farther here off that start. And no. Oh, man. We got it all piled up back here. Trucks inside of trucks. The 38 of Scott does do a complete barrel roll. Coming across the line there. That's going to, like we said, hand the win over to Ace here tonight. So your race results coming in. As we finish here, Matthew Barker wins it tonight with Eric Copperthorne there in second. Jeff Scott third. Brian Hennings in fourth. Liam Beebe there fifth. Chris Ramsey there sixth. Jimmy Pyland back there in seventh. Sam Lucier there back in eighth with Tim Richardson back in ninth. Ryan Hunter in 10th. Edward Fielder finishing the ninth. 11th with Jake Priscilla back there in 12th with Nate Peacock 13th. Larry Fairman 14th. James Wagner 15th. Justin Holling 16th. Jonathan Vandenberg there in 17th. And 18th. 18th going to Mark Morton. All righty, let's go and see who we can get a hold of here for the interview. We need to start off with Jeff Scott. Good evening, Jeff. How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. How are you doing?
Well, you held on for third.
Yeah, it should have been first, but I don't know what happened there. I just know I was upside down and flying, and in VR, I was flying.
Yeah, it definitely. There were about 3 or 4 of you kind of flying through the same type of area. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
I'm not sure who was completely at fault, as it looked like Hennings was just trying to keep that side draft on you. Got a little too close and hooked.
I think so. We were both. I know he was holding his line, and I was holding mine, and I don't know. It's just the way it is, you know. We were racing, and one of us was going to win or lose, and we both, I guess, decided to lose. But Ace Matt Barker, he was pushing me, so it it was my race, you know, and it was going to be my race, but that's okay. It's just sometimes when you finish in the air, it's all right too.
Well, you finished in the air and still brought home thirds. I mean, you got to still feel okay with that.
Yeah, I do. You know, earlier in the race, I had just gotten that EOL from the wreck I guess I caused, and I came right back up, so that felt good. That was interesting times.
Oh, most definitely. Kind of.
Yeah, and our team was split apart too, so I couldn't really work with Dougie much because if I was on the left side, he was on the right side, and this is vice versa, and we never got to hook up, nothing. So it didn't quite work out. But you know, Matt Barker, he was a teammate there for a minute, and I knew once he was sticking me that chances were he was going to work with me, and I think I don't know who won. Did he win it?
Yeah, you guys went over top of him, and he come across the line in first.
Yeah, so he would have been third, you know, but he came in first, so good for him. You know, at least we were working together, so he deserves it in my book. So, but I do want to thank my teammates, Justin and Dougie Wagner, man. And without him, it's not as fun, you know. And one more person I want to thank is Mr. James Wagner himself and Wagner's Welding. So. Absolutely, without that guy, I wouldn't even be here. So I've been cutting it back lately, and Mondays I've been trying to keep. And I know he likes watching me race. You know, I don't have any family that watches me race but him, so I'm thankful for that. I love that guy.
You got any others you want to thank for helping you get in that third spot tonight?
Oh, well, anybody that was willing to work with me. You know, a lot of things were just happening so fast. I don't know why. It was just Ace and, you know, even at the end there, Jimmy, I think him and I made up because I wrecked him earlier. And some guy was trying to come through the middle, and I made sure that didn't happen so Jimmy could keep his place. So I hope that made up for that incident. And I think it did. So I'm pretty sure he saw that.
Oh, I'm sure we did. There was just so much action tonight. I mean, you guys.
It was a chorus truck, and he took the middle lane, and at some point, and I just made sure that wasn't going to happen. That Jimmy was going to stay with me because I knew Jimmy was going to push, and so. But I felt bad about that accident, so I wanted to make sure that we made friends on that one. But no, I don't have anybody else to thank. I'm just appreciative to be here, and actually, you know what? I do want to thank Timmy Richardson. Him and I worked together earlier in the race, and that was very helpful. So Tim was awesome. He was awesome too.
Well, you know, we're heading to the iRacing Super Speedway again next week, this time in the next gens.
Oh boy. Well, that'll be suicide, so great. I'm looking forward to that one. Well, thank you very much.
So hopefully you enjoy the third place tonight. I know you were hoping for more, but I mean, it's super speedway racing. Anything can happen.
Yeah, you know, and I was surprised I stayed alive that long right there. So as soon as I saw the Geico start line, I'm like, holy shit, I'm still alive. And then all of a sudden I wasn't alive anymore. So, I was flipping in VR, man. It was flipping a lot. It felt like I got a little air. I don't know, though. After watching
you got air. We replayed it, so yeah, definitely go back and rewatch it because I'm sure you'll be surprised at what all took place there coming to the flag.
Yeah, I know how it felt in the truck, so but yeah, I can't wait to see it. So, well, thank you very much, man.
It'll be confirmed. We'll put it that way.
All right, well, I get my wings.
All right. You have yourself a great night, Jeff, and enjoy the rest of your night.
You too, man. And sometimes you just need a cool whip, Brian. Cool whip. Take care, my man.
You too. All right, that was that was Jeff Scott. Now we'll see if we can get with Copperthorne. I'm not seeing. So we'll go ahead to Victory Lane here. Good evening there, Ace. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, brother? How's it going?
It's going pretty good. You guys put on quite a show here tonight, and kind of take us through that last lap from your perspective.
Wow. Yeah, I would have not expected the finish we got. I was already committed pushing Jeff Scott to a win there. But yeah, what a wild ride tonight. That last lap, it's like the seas parted right there, coming off of 4 in a try over there. I think that might have been Jeff Scott, you know, but I think we all just doing a little too much side drafting there, and it's a real unfortunate for him. I would like to see Jeff Scott win.
Well, Jeff Scott was in front until, the unfortunate where him and Hennings come together.
Yeah. This is close-knit racing, and that's the product of Daytona. Just unfortunate to be him. Because he had a fast car tonight. Like I say, I was already committed to pushing him to the line, you know. And just a lucky break. What a lucky break. I got involved in a little bit of an incident there early in the race. Had to use my fast repair. And when you're back in traffic, it's actually hard to come back to the field. Daytona with these trucks, the way they move around, it's mostly a 2-groove track. So the passing ain't like you're going to see at Talladega.
Talladega's a little bit wider.
It was a little bit interesting making our way back to the front, and if it hadn't been for that little incident there on that last lap, I wouldn't be sitting here, I don't think, talking to you now. So
well, you would have talking to me just a little farther back.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, I guess. But we'll definitely take it. We've been stepping up our super, and I think it's really starting to shine. You know, I'm starting to see myself on these podiums more and more, getting to interview with you on Monday nights. So that's always quite nice. So,
well, I know there was Susan Hess that tuned in to watch you come across the line in first.
Oh, my friend Susan, I appreciate her, man. I do have a little bit of a fan base out there, and I do want to give a shout out to her for watching. Now that you told me, it's always good to have people in your corner like that. Speaking of shout outs, I want to give a shout out to James Wagoner Welding for what he's done for us in the league and everything. And I'm actually lucky to be sitting here tonight. I've dealt with a problem the past week or so. Felt like I broke my back earlier in the week. It's actually had me down for about a week and a half now. So it's actually real fortunate for me to be sitting here racing. And it's always good to win.
Well, and I understand you were having some wheel issues too.
I was. I don't know. Hopefully we got our problem fixed. It seems like it only happens on super speedway. Like halfway, like in practice today, my wheel was dead at certain points of the track. And then you wouldn't have, it's like I had no input. So before the race, I reset everything, went through all my files, folders, anything that had an update got updated. Anything I thought I didn't need, I got rid of. So it seemed to work. So hopefully we got that issue fixed. It has ruined one of my races this season. And this is just a new thing that's happened. So we're still trying to figure out what it is because we technically don't know what it is just yet. We're just hoping we stumble upon it, and one of the things we do. So yeah, I did have wheel issues, so it's actually lucky. Like the iRacing Super Speedway when we run that night in fours, I think it took me out because I had the same issue that night.
Yeah.
And we're in our 6th season, and that's the first time it's happened. 6th season, so it's got me kind of worried. But my gang, my teammate, we all sit in Discord and we all come up with ideas. Try this, try that. Have you looked at this? So big shout out to my team. Because just even that, helps a guy make a race, stay in the points. Like that. So this is definitely a team effort. Especially when it comes. Big shout out to the team tonight. Well, me, Tim, we all communicate well. We race. We're starting to see ourselves up for more and more.
Well, that's good. I mean, you guys are definitely doing a great job out there, and it was definitely a fun night to watch. So, do you have any other shout-outs you want to give here for helping you get onto that podium in victory lane tonight?
Yeah. Again, Jeff Scott, because he had a fast car tonight. I still think it should have might have been, but he's a good teammate too. I think he's teammates with Dougie, but he's an old teammate of ours, old friend of ours. So it's always good to race around him, you know. And I just hats off to him tonight because he did have a fast car. And again, you know, James Wagoner's Welding, you know, Fleeger Farm TV for what you guys do for us. Pottle's our, you know, shout out to her. She does a wonderful job. But, you know, and all the wives out there to let us husbands do this. Got to keep the wives happy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but good win tonight. I think I may miss next Monday, me and Tim both. But due to we play softball, so I think we both may miss next Monday because we play each other.
Oh,
so
okay. So instead of you racing each other, you're going to be on the baseball field together.
We will. We will be playing Monday night, I think. So, wish us luck.
Good. Well, you had luck tonight, so hopefully you can carry it over. And next week, I mean, you might know, are okay missing it anyway. I mean, you're taking the next-gen cars to the internet or iRacing Super Speedway.
iRacing but it'll still be fun. We do a lot of testing there because we knew it was going to be on schedule. We've took multiple cars there, so it's really an interesting track. Other than my last issue, we typically run well there.
Alrighty, well, congrats again for your victory tonight, and hopefully you can kind of keep a little bit of this momentum going throughout the season.
Oh yeah, like I say, man, Ace is here in 2025, man. It's everything's coming together. Like I say, our team is putting in so much work and helping each other and recruiting drivers and helping young drivers, which is in turn helping us. You know, so the caliber of drivers we're starting to get into the league is starting to show, and it's actually helping us also, you know, hone our skills along the way. So it's a big team effort, you know, even outside our team.
All right, we'll let you go here and enjoy that win tonight.
Hey, appreciate it, brother.
Alrighty, so that'll wrap it up here tonight for us here at Daytona and the Roughneck Racing League. Become a lead as they head off the evening here. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned as we got another show coming up here in just about a half hour. So join us as I go from Daytona, and we're catching we're going to see if we can go as fast as the jet can fly and get over to Charlotte. We're taking on Charlotte Roval tonight in the GT3s at FMA, the Freedom Motorsport Alliance League. Alrighty, guys. Thank you all for watching, and have yourselves a great night.
With each breath we give away. I don't want